Hi guys, welcome to my channel Soil and Margaritas. My name is Roxana and I am so glad that you're here today. I garden in Zone 5, 5, 6 in Central Indiana, and my last frost date is April 25th officially. If you Google your zip code and you put in your information, it will tell you around what time, what day your last frost day is. However, when April 25th comes, it doesn't mean that I am able to take everything outside and plant everything. I check the forecast and normally it takes about 1 week or two before I am comfortable taking everything outside. So the first week, sometimes even the second week in May is when I take all of my summer loving plants outside. That said, I am starting a bunch of things here today. I am starting everything in soil blocks today because they're already there. I already had the mix. I think that they're going to be fine. So I figured that instead of just showing you how I am doing all the seeds and there's really not too much about it, you just put the seed in the soil, but I'm going to show you all the varieties that I have. I have some new ones, I have some repeat ones from last year, and even some from 2 years ago. So instead of just showing you that, I figured that I could just answer a few questions that you guys have been leaving on my past videos that maybe some other people have as well. These questions are just going to be random, whatever I can find on my phone from the past comments that I've had on my YouTube channel. So I am going to start with my scabiosa. I have two types here, which are these two that I'm going to be starting. Let me show you those. I have a Black Knight Scabiosa pink cushion flower. I have never had scabiosa in my garden, so I am not sure how they're going to do, how quick they're going to germinate. And I believe I did start some of these in my winter sowing containers, which I will update you on those here hopefully in the next video. So I am going to start at least 4 little containers or 4 little blocks. So I am going to put a couple of seeds. These are the seeds of the, oh, I have it on the wrong side. You guys are on this side. I already have all of my labels made. And I'm also starting these Fata Morgana. I'm also going to start 4 of those. So I am putting 2 seeds on each little soil block. These are the 3/4 inch soil blocks. Okay, so a couple of the questions that I had when I show you that I was studying my sugar snap peas indoors, that I was giving them a head start inside, was that they were wondering how well they were going to do once I put them outside and how soon to put them outside and all of that. I think that a lot of people just didn't think that they could start them indoors. I did that last year. I started them indoors last year because the first year that I started them, I used direct sow them. Everybody that I kind of followed said, direct sow them. And I did, and they took forever to germinate because I think that by the time that the seed started to absorb all of the water, started to get moist, and then the germination time, it was almost about a month that they took to germinate. So it was a long time. And so last year I started them indoors in little containers, and they literally were here for 2 weeks or so before I moved them outside. But even though they had only been here for 2 weeks, I still have to harden them off. You have to slowly take them outside. You cannot just bring them from the nice warm environment where they are straight into the cold spring weather outside. So take a few days, take them outside, just a little bit, just like you would your tomatoes or your peppers or any other plant that you have been growing inside, and they should be fine. They're actually pretty huge right now. If I'm being honest, they're already kind of big, and it has only been a few days, but that's okay because I'm not even ready to. I haven't even bought any of my potting mix that I'm going to use outside. That's just another trip to Home Depot or Menards. Okay, so I squeezed the scabiosa seeds here as much as I could. What I'm going to do is that I'm just going to get some of the dry mix and I'm just going to top it off when I am done. I'm going to do that for everything, so I'm just going to wait. And I am using natural light today, and it gets really bright and it gets really cloudy. I'm like super dark right now, probably. Okay, hopefully that's better. Okay, so we'll move to the next flower. And I am going to start with marigolds. I'm going to start white marigolds here. I had gorgeous, gorgeous flowers from my white marigolds that I started last year. These are the ones that I started. These are called Kilimanjaro White. I got these from Baker Creeks. They are amazing. These are just amazing, you guys. They are tall plants, about, I will say, 2.5, 3 feet tall. And they are the most gorgeous, gorgeous flowers. So I am going to start 10. And since the seeds are a little bit tall, I'm just going to kind of point them this way there. And like I said, I am going to be coming back and bringing some of the dry mix here. And I am going 2 seeds per little soil black because these are older seeds. These seeds I got to grow last year, and I still have lots of seeds. I even collected my own seeds last year, but I just want to use my older seeds, and I don't actually need 10 plants of these marigolds, to be honest. But if I can get at least half, and if they all germinate, then I'll have plenty to give to friends or my family. And it's starting to rain outside. It has been raining like crazy for the past 2 days here in Indiana. So marigolds are done. And these are not all the marigolds that I'm going to be using for my garden this year. These are just for the ones that I'm going to be having maybe in containers and around my flower beds. But I am going to be going to my local garden center when I am ready to plant my vegetable garden, because I like to get like a whole tray of the tiny little smaller marigold plants to use around my vegetables. I don't want to start those here. I'd rather just to get a flat. They're not that expensive, but these guys, these white marigolds, I can't really find them locally. So next I am going to start with Cosmos. And I do have 2 types. These were the ones that I started last year. They are gorgeous double mix Cosmos. They're called double click Cosmos, which is this packet as well. I just got this new this year because I wasn't sure how good the seeds were going to save. So these are just one kind, and they bloom white and pink. And I also have this variety. It's called Double Dutch Rose, which is also a double Cosmos. So I am not going to divide them as far as the name. They're both pink, and they're some of them are white, and that's fine. I don't mind. I'm just going to mix them all. And I believe I got these from a seed swap that I did. And they were one of my favorite flowers last year. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to go I'm going to try 16. So I'm going to go here 1 seed of each on each little soil block, so that hopefully one of them takes. Okay, quinoa seeds. I show you guys the video on how I was filing my life away, how I was filing the quinoa seeds, prepping them before I put them in containers or before I put them in my in soil. And some of you mentioned that, actually a lot of you mentioned that what you do instead of making a scratch on each seed, and to be honest, that does take a lot of time. Some of you mentioned that you soak the seeds in boiling water for I don't know how long, a few seconds, I will say. I mean, you're not going to leave them there to cook, but some of you mentioned we don't even do the scratching. We just keep them a few seconds in boiling water. After that, we rinse them and then we put them in soil. We don't even do this extra soaking. So I might try that next year. I might actually even try that this year on the side just to see how that works. Because honestly, that does take a lot of time. Filing the quinoa seeds does take a lot of time. So if you mentioned that to me on the video, thank you for doing that. Okay, one seed went in between the soil blocks. That's fine. Okay, so my video stopped at some point. My camera stopped recording, so I am done with the cosmos. I am going to start with my amaranth. I have 4 little spots here for amaranth. I am going to try 2 plants for each. I have 4 different varieties of amaranth. This one is a repeat, red spike. This is the one that made me fall in love with amaranth last year. I have Love Lies Bleeding Red. I love this one. It grows, it's very similar to the red spike, although the red spike is just a spike. It is how it grows on the plant. And this one is more of a weeping bloom. So I'm excited about that one. I have Coral Fountain, gorgeous, gorgeous pink. I got this from Botanical Interest. And I have this Golden Giant, gorgeous, gorgeous type. So I already did start with my Love Lies Bleeding Red and my Red Spike. And as I was saying, the seeds are very tiny, very, very tiny. So for sure, I am going to have to thin this, I'm going to thin them out because they are way too small. There is no way that I can just get 1 or 2 seeds there. And yes, I could get a toothpick and, you know, do that, but I'm not going to. It's just too much work. It is raining like crazy outside. So I am just putting a little bunch of seeds there. And then I am going to come back again, like I mentioned, and put maybe vermiculite. I might just use my vermiculite since I have tons of it. So this one is Gorgeous Coral Fountain. And I am doing the last one, Golden Giant. Isn't that gorgeous? And I don't really need 2 plants, but I am going 1 back up just in case. That's that. And that's my amaranth. I am done with my amaranth. And next I am going to go with my lemon talinum. I'm not really sure how that's pronounced. So I am going to put a picture of this plant. I got these seeds for last year. I wanted to try these seeds last year. I didn't get to them, but the pictures on the Johnny's website were just, my gosh, so amazing. So I gotta try this year. I think these are going to be just gorgeous, gorgeous fillers. And I am trying a bunch of these guys. I'm trying to see if I can get 14 there. So because these seeds are older, they're from 2 years ago, I am just going to go, and they're very, very tiny. They're super tiny. They're almost like Snapdragon seeds. So I am going to try to go at least a couple of seeds per block. They're so tiny, so tiny. Some of you had questions about humidity domes. Do I use them? What about them? From my experience, especially using soil blocks this year, I noticed that if you have them, use them. If you're thinking about buying them for your soil blocks, go ahead and do that. I think that would be great. If you don't want to buy it, and if you use plastic saran wrap in your kitchen, you can just use the plastic, like a plastic sheet, clear plastic sheet, and then you have your humidity dome. I have them already, and I have been using them here and there with my soil blocks only. I don't use them for my containers because they don't dry out too quickly. These guys, I almost have to water them once a day. If I put my humidity dome on them, I might get away with watering them every 2 to 3 days. But definitely the little guys definitely need some sort of help as far as keeping the moisture in. But with my containers, I don't use humidity domes. Next, I have mint. I grew these last year, I believe. I had them with my coffee cups elephant ears. They were basically covering the base of it, and they were gorgeous, you guys. So 2 years ago I bought 3 packets and I only use 1. So I am going to be using the last 2 because, you know, the seeds are older. And mint, I have 20 of these guys, and since I only have 10 seeds per container, I am going to be going with 1 seed per soil block. And looks like this container had an extra seed. Some of you have asked me about where do I buy all of my colorful containers, my watering cans, my seeds, I don't know, extra things that I'm using here. I normally, if I'm showing it on a video, I normally put the link for whatever products I'm using in that video's description. So more than likely you will find that information in the description. All of my colorful trays this year are from Bootstrap Farm. I love them. They are really nice and heavy duty. They're not your regular flimsy containers you can find at your local hardware store. These guys are going to last me a while, and I am very happy with them. And more than likely, I will have a link in the description below. Watering cans and other things. You know, I go to gardening centers, I go to Lowe's, Menards, sometimes they have those, and I just grab one. It's nothing special, whatever works for you. If I got something from Amazon, I will have the links below, but if not, then that just means that I got them somewhere local, at one of my local stores. Okay, so we are done with mint, and next, I am going to do my star flowers. And these are the star flowers that I got last year from Floret. I grew this last year, and I am pretty sure that I still have a bunch of seeds here. They are scarlet star flowers. But I also went ahead and saved a bunch of seeds from my garden last year. But if I have older seeds, and I have mentioned this before, if you have older seeds from 2 or 3 years before, use those first, just to, you know, to get them going. And these guys are not that tiny, but I'll probably go, because they're older seeds, I'll probably go about 4 seeds at least. And what I'm going to do, I already decided that I am going to divide these when the time comes. So this is the biggest size that I have for soil blocks. These are the 2-inch. So I don't really have a space where to pot these up when the time comes, and I am definitely positive that these guys are not going to last here until I'm ready to put them outside. So I'm going to divide them when the time comes, and then I'll give them their own container. And that's it for star flowers. I am not going to get these today. I am not going to plant them in soil because I have to do some prep. This guy is new for me. This is a snail vine that I purchased from Baker Creeks. I saw an ad that they had on their Instagram page, and I saw the pictures and I fell in love. So I got myself some seeds, and I had plans to try this today, but I didn't even read the instructions on the packet. But it does say that I need to soak the seeds overnight in warm water to help with the germination. So I need to do that, and more than likely I will start these in the 2-inch containers, and I will soak this in warm water today so that I can plant them tomorrow. And also I have this canary bird vine that I fell in love with. I think it's a type of nasturtium, if I may be wrong on that, but it was with the nasturtium varieties when I was looking for nasturtiums. And I purchased these seeds from Swallowtail Garden Seeds, so these require a little bit more prep. These are almost like henna seeds. Scratch seed coat on sandpaper, then soak in warm water for 2 days, actually 3 days. Change water daily and put in containers. So this is going to take a little bit more prep, just like my canna seeds. So I am going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to scratch, soak, and I'm going to be changing the water every day. So I will put this as well in 2-inch containers. So I am going to try to get about 2 plants per plant, but I'll probably maybe start with 4 just to see where that gets me. So that's a little bit of prep for that. And the last seeds that I am starting today are beets. I am going to start by putting a bunch of beet seeds in these little 2-inch soil blocks. I did this last year and it was a success. I had great results with the seeds. I picked this tip from Charles Downing. I'm going to leave a link to a description to his channel below. He does this with radishes, with onions, and with beets. He basically starts them indoors 2 or 3 weeks before he's ready to put them outside, and he puts them by groups, by little bunches, he calls them. And basically he gets those bunches and they go straight into whatever container or raised bed that he's using. And as he needs them, he takes away from that bunch. Basically he's thinning them out as he needs to use them from the garden. I did this last year and it was great for me. So I am going to repeat that, but this year I'm going to use the 2-inch soil blocks, and I am going to use, I won't do more than 5 seeds. So I'm just going to get a little bunch here. And then I'll come back. Okay, they're going everywhere. And then I'll come back with a pencil or with something pointy and put the seeds down. But I'm not going to keep them all in the center. I am kind of spreading them around a little bit. And these are big seeds, so you can do that. Okay, I also have gotten questions about my mini tools. This guy's right here, and I have a little bit of spatulas here and there. When I started making the videos this year, I was using a spoon, and I made the comment about, please don't laugh about, my tools that I'm using. I mean, my little teaspoon was working for me, right? But one of you, I'll put her name here on the video, sent me a set. I think they're used for succulents, for maintaining and watering and moving and all of that succulents, and they are amazing. Okay, especially when you're dealing with soil blocks that are like super tiny, or you have to move something. They're amazing. So thank you again for sending those my way. I'm positive that she got them from Amazon because they arrive in an Amazon box. So look for your set on Amazon. Okay, so I am going to come back here and I am just going to gently squeeze this in. Okay, so I am going to come here with vermiculite. I am basically just covering everything here. Perfect. And that's it for this video, you guys. I hope that you enjoy it. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Subscribe, like, and comment if you haven't. Thank you for your support, and until the next time.